Truth and love, y'all. First off, I have to say that this video is protected. No weapons formed against me shall prosper, and this message will get out crisp, clear, and immediately. Alright? So, I thought about it the other day, and I've been thinking about this before. I've tried to get a message like this out before us, like maybe last year or something like that. And these so-called gang stalkers or whatever, they were really putting in work to make sure that no matter how I've gotten it down, no matter how many devices I fucking use to try to get this message out, they really tried to put a stop to it. So this is not happening this time. What I want to say about, and I'll be making other videos about this, when it comes to this whole gang stalking shit, right? I have to say this from my personal perspective because this is just where I'm at. I'm not expecting you to believe what I believe or feel how I feel about the situation. I just choose to be a master of my emotions, and this is how I choose to see it at the moment. If I see it differently later, then cool. These gang stalkers, I forgive them. I forgive them, and I forgive the ones that really don't know what they're doing. My theory is that there are two different types of gang stalkers. One that is possessed by monitoring spirits. They, I don't think they know what they're doing. I think their minds are hijacked completely. And I'll tell you from personal experience, I've had people gang stalk me, and then a week later they're waving at me saying hi, and as if they didn't just violate me. Okay? And I really don't think they know what they're doing. And if you watch the Matrix 4 swarm mode, okay, it's almost like that. Even in Matrix 1, when Neo is trying to run, this is right before he gets shot in the chest, and he's trying to run to the nearest payphone and whatever, and he grabs the guy's cell phone on the corner. So it's a regular guy at first, and he looks like an NPC because he's doing this shit, and then all of a sudden he turns into Agent Smith, right? And so I forgive the ones that really don't know where the fuck they're at, bro. Like, they just are not there. Then the other ones, the other type of gang stalkers are the ones that are possessed by their own demons, and then have other demons that can easily attach to theirs because they have not done the work. These particular gang stalkers had the ability to be a chosen one or to follow through with answering the call. They had the ability to do what we've been doing, which is just doing the work, the accountability work, the shadow work, the inner childhood healing work, all that stuff. But because they gave up on themselves, they don't see a way out. And so now they're consumed by whatever envy and jealousy they have for other chosen ones, and they are gang stalking, part of the witchcraft and the warlock and all that shit. That's them doing that shit. And that sucks. That sucks on them because they believed it was just too hard. They believed it was too hard and it was easier to give up. That sucks. But I appreciate it because that reminds me to not give up. It reminds me to continue pushing forward no matter how hard it is. That shows me if I don't keep going, I get to look at them as a reminder of, damn, I ain't trying to end up like you. You know? And I, at the end of the day, appreciate them for gang stalking me because, first off, if soul contracts are real and we have assigned ourselves to go through such a feat, then it's meant for us to be reminded of that while we're on this earth plane. It's meant for us to remember that we signed up for it if that's the case. And I'm grateful to have gone through this program because at the end of the day, had I not gone through this program, I wouldn't have been as close to God as I am now. See, a lot of people, when it comes to this gang stalking, we take different approaches when it comes to the information, when it comes to understanding it, and when it comes to trying to break out of it. Unfortunately, many people don't believe that you can break out of gang stalking. I don't think that's true at all. I think it's all here still. Not to say that we're schizophrenic or that we're paranoid or anything like that, but the mind is so powerful that a lot of times we don't realize in what we have the ability to repel and have the ability to attract. So with that being said, and coming from a place of forgiveness, allowing my heart to be even bigger, I forgive them and I thank them because, it'd be easy for me to be in my ego right now and say, I don't need them. If it weren't for them, I'd be successful now. If it weren't for them, all this shit, right? Coming from a broken-hearted place. In all honesty, I have to be extra honest with myself and say, I could have been a complete fucking asshole had I not gone through all this gang stalking. I would have been close to God, but how close would I have really been? Knowing myself, understanding my birth chart, understanding the numerology of my life path number, all of that shit, I would have been a completely different person. But because I know myself well enough to understand that it's easy for me to get distracted. It's easy for me to get upset. It's easy for this, that, and the third to happen. I can't be dishonest with myself. I don't think I'd be as close to God today if they didn't do all that, if they didn't put me under pressure. All that pressure. What happens? What do you get out of all that pressure? You are a diamond. You keep fucking rising. You keep fucking shining. That pressure is only temporary if you allow it to be. I will not ever affirm that I am a targeted individual. I would rather instead state that this is a temporary experience of mine having been targeted. Use the power of your tongue. Use the power of your heart and become more honest with yourselves. Because gang stalkers can't do it. The monitoring spirits, though, the ones that can easily snatch those bodies up, they do what everybody else does. They get themselves a turkey, they get themselves a pumpkin, they get themselves a Christmas tree, they write themselves a New Year's resolution, they go to the same job and they do the same shit every day, every year for the rest of their lives. And so maybe a miracle breaks out one day and they say, oh, no more. I'm going to break out of this. And I will always pray for people to wake up. The other gang stalkers that had their chance to answer the call and chose not to and chose to be consumed by their own hate. And it's hatred for self. They don't even really hate you. They'll claim they hate you. They'll feel hate for you. They just hate the fact that when they see you, that version of themselves seems to be so far away. And that's what makes them so upset. But I thank y'all for gang stalking me. I wouldn't be as close to God as I am today. You did your job, and I'm doing mine. And for anybody who sees this, I pray that this gives you much ease to rise back into your light and stay there. I love you very much. Comment down below if you got anything you want me to hear, anything you want to say. I'm listening. Peace.